Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, in the world of cinema, when storytellers start to think outside the box, that's when we get something truly unique. And when you're within the sound of my voice, well, if you're within the sound of my voice, then that must mean you're in the seats with once more. Because, as always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast, where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of industry professionals. We pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more in a light and conversational fashion. And, if you like how we do things around here, I'm going to assume that you do, because, well, quite frankly, you can hear my voice. You're listening right now. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Give us the old 5-star rating. Basically, wherever you get your podcasts. We're over at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, pretty much everywhere. And plus, we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel. So if you can give us a like and subscribe there as well, we would absolutely appreciate it. Also, don't hesitate to check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram I have to correct myself. Not only are we on those three places, but we're also over at TikTok and we're at Letterboxd, at InSeats, for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I say it a lot, but it's the most important, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca, for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the moving image at large, because if we love to watch it and write about it and talk about it, I'll let you in on a secret. We love it when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So please, pay us a visit. On this episode, we got an interesting one. It is, for those who don't know, for those people who aren't sort of savvy to the industry, this is very much for your consideration season, where a lot of people come out of the woodwork, and we talk to some interesting people who are trying to get nominations for their film or their TV show or whatnot. And some stuff that, fell through the cracks gets brought back up again. And it allows guys like us to talk about it and champion it and really, embrace something different and interesting. And we found that in Pawel Lozinski's new documentary, which is called The Balcony Movie, which was had a bit of a video-on-demand run, and I know it did some theatrical as well. But it's just a fascinating piece of cinema because it's basically composed from conversations that the man had from his apartment while holding a camera onto the street, and people walking underneath his apartment in Warsaw. And they talk and they tell their stories, and it's really a great slice of humanity. It creates a portrait of what it means to be a human being, and just sort of those personal connections that, especially during COVID and during all the things that have gone on in the world, we've forgotten about and we've lost a little bit. And this is really a important piece of cinema to me that just highlights the importance of the stories that we all have with the person next to us. The person on the subway, the person we cross on the street, or the person walking underneath our apartment building, like Pawel did with this film. And I mean, to hear the work that he put in and the amount of conversations he had to cobble this unique piece of cinema together is absolutely staggering. So do keep your eyes open for The Balcony Movie from all major providers, and even if in theatrical, and during award season as well, to see if it pops up. But first, enjoy our talk with Pawel, because between you and me, it's a pretty good one. And like I said, The Balcony Movie is really a fascinating piece of cinema, and I cannot recommend it enough. But enjoy our talk with Pawel, because like I said, well, and I say it a lot, but it's a pretty good one. He's an interesting guy. Enjoy. All right, well, obviously, first off, just congratulations on the film, man. I absolutely loved it.
Thank you, David.
And now walk me through, I guess, the origin of this on your end. Like, what inspired you to sort of tell this story and make it this way?
The truth is that I didn't have any idea for a new film. And I wanted my next project to be completely different from the rest. So one day I was sitting on the balcony with my wife drinking coffee, and I was observing the world around me like I used to do. And I realized that I'm eavesdropping random conversations of people passing by beneath my balcony, Uh, and I think, and I was thinking like the balcony, yes, it's a perfect place to observe people because the passers-by raised my curiosity. Who are they? So I have a big temptation to ask questions and enter their private life, of course. But I cannot do it with the camera. The camera was an excuse to do it.
For sure.
So here on my balcony, without leaving home, I could try to find a new protagonist for my movie. So I fixed the camera there and I started to observe reality from this perspective,
Now, I mean, is it true that you spent 165 days doing this and talked to well over 2,000 people?
That's true. Yes, it sounds like a dream, like right now, or crazy dream, but I did it. Yes, I spent there more than 2.5 years. Winters and summers and everything, and yes, I was very, very tempted by new encounters and with new people and to get strong stories from them.
Now, I mean, how, like, were people willing to sort of engage with you? Because I mean, I can sure from sort of street level, there's this weird guy hanging over with a camera. I can imagine you had a certain percentage of people either A, ignore you, or B, say something horrible to you as they kept walking on by. Like, how did you manage to get people to sort of engage and talk?
Of course, at the beginning, I was kind of crazy neighbor standing with his camera here, not a filmmaker, just a neighbor, one of them, and they were surprised, like, how come? What are you doing here? Why you do have the camera and the microphone on a long boom? And I was telling, I'm trying to make a film, and it was true, but because at the beginning I was not sure if in the result of putting together passers-by, balcony, camera, and director, if it would equal a film at the end, So I was asking them, like, what's your story? What is the meaning of your life? Or would you like to be a character in my movie? And they were so shocked and surprised that they suddenly they stopped under my balcony and started to chat with me. Not all, of course, not all people, but most of them. And then I started to be like a part of furniture, like somebody transparent, like somebody who is always there. So, so there's this strange guy on a balcony. I heard the rumors in our district. People asking, have you already speak with this guy on a balcony? And the others are answering, yes, I did it. You can try. He's not such a strange guy as he looks like,
Was there a conversation or a moment during this whole process when maybe you knew that, okay, this might actually become something?
Every day I had such an interesting encounters and such deep stories. And I was so surprised that after sometimes I couldn't believe that after 2 minutes of speaking with somebody who is for the first time, with somebody who I didn't know before, he was opening his heart to me. So I realized, that the people are so lonely and they don't have anybody to talk with. Sometimes it's very difficult to talk in our families about what is going on in our life.
For sure.
Yes, so it was kind of conversation with a stranger in a train, when you know that you'll get off the train next station, So
absolutely.
This kind of encounter.
It's an analogy for sure.
This safety, even if the camera was here to record the whole process,
As long as it didn't get too Hitchcock and nobody asked you to switch murders as you're sort of hanging off your balcony.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I mean, obviously, like, just in watching it, this felt like something that had to happen during the pandemic, because I mean, obviously we were all so disconnected and we all sort of had that distance. And I mean, I'm kind of curious, from your perspective, just looking back on it now, do you think this is something that would have worked sort of outside of that bubble, or do you think this is something that was sort of born from the global situation that we found ourselves in?
This project came to my mind because I didn't have an idea for a new film, and because I tried to change the rules of the game. Because normally me as a filmmaker, I'm chasing for the people, I'm looking for my protagonists. At this time, I decided to stay and wait till everybody enter my frame, And I really like them to be like a entire cross section of all kind of people, and having very deep intimate conversations with them. And I started, yes, in 2018. It was 2 years before COVID. Yeah. Yes, and the COVID saved my life, I could say, because I was so greedy for the new material that I couldn't stop. I became kind of addicted to everyday's encounters with my neighbors. But when the pandemic came, all the topics of our conversations changed.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of fear, and the situation started to be unstable, and because it was a first lockdown in Poland, and the people started doing masks and shields and everything, So I knew this is the end of this film, but I knew that the pandemic will not be the part of it because I like to have a happy end, I like this film to bring hope to the people. It's a tribute to life,
Oh, for sure.
Yes, we try to edit all those intimate stories like this, even if you have a lot of very depressive material of people who were not happy at all. But we decided to equilibrate it in order that we'll have some kind of happy ending.
Now, I'm curious from your perspective, because, again, like you said, this film definitely changes the rules a little bit. And what is it about documentary that you feel allows you to change the rules? Because, again, you could not make this kind of film any other way. Like if you were doing it on the street or doing it at street level, it would have felt very different.
No, absolutely not, because it's a very good remark, because at the beginning I was afraid that where this 5 meter distance between us, it will create a kind of emotional distance as well. But it wasn't like this, because the people felt free to enter my frame or get out from my frame whenever they wanted to do it. So they feel free to say hello and I'm going, but they will free stop and talk with me for 5 minutes. And when I met the same people on the level 0, just on the street, the conversation was not very was not possible, because I feel like I'm a bit shy because they are too close to me, and they felt the same. But whenever they came again in this balcony, situation, the dialogue continues. It means that I'm not sure if I'm.
No, you are very much so.
Yeah. Okay. So this kind of 5 meter distance created the possibility of having this bond, and we became friends in this situation. It was very strange experiment, because normally I'm making a film using a lot of close-ups, but this time I was afraid I will not have the psychology of my characters, because I cannot read from their eyes what their feelings are. But I understand very quickly that the whole body of people's body are talking, you're talking with hands, you're talking with your legs and everything. The whole body is, how should I put it, transfer these stories. So I created kind of stage for the people to play, to talk, to sing, to dance, or to do whatever they want to do,
No, I'm curious.
And it was kind of secular confessional at the same time, the place that they will really can reveal their intimate stories.
No, but you're right, because in films that we have seen like this, it's always very close up, it's always very intimate, and people are sort of pouring their hearts out. But when you're getting that from a distance, it feels like you said, with the movement of just how people react naturally, it feels like we're getting more of a story. For you, looking back on this now, how do you think sort of the distance allowed for us to get more of the human condition, rather than just sort of maybe that expressive facial close-up that maybe we would have had in other films of the past?
Listen, I think that we created kind of intimacy between us, because some of protagonists, let's say the main protagonists of the film, will keep coming under my camera, and we created a real bond. We became friends, and it's even if I was on the first floor always, before this experiment, I knew only 2 characters from my neighborhood. I knew Pani Zosia, the janitor, and I knew Jadwiga, the old lady with a trolley, and the others just appeared, because the rule number two, the rule number one that was that I fix my camera and I'm not moving from there. And the rule number two that I'm not looking for my protagonist. I'm not doing the casting for them. I'm not calling my friends to come under my camera. Just blind chance. And I have a lot of curiosity, to about those people. What were their stories? Who are they? And during the editing of the film, we really worked on, for 1 year of editing, that we tried to transfer this curiosity to the audience, like who will be next entering my frame, who will be next in a film. And I like that my protagonist will create a bond with the audience. Like, for example, Pani Zosia, which is a great character, the janitor. She's taking care not only for our building, but she has another 9 buildings to take care,
Oh, wow. And
she's 74.
Oof.
And she's retired. When she was not retired yet, she had 15 buildings to take care. So, and she's still there. Yes, I'm talking with her every day when I'm in Warsaw, not in LA right now.
Now, I mean, for you, what do you hope audiences pull away from this? Because, I mean, in watching this film, it almost made me want to sit on my front step and just sort of talk to people walking by. It sort of gave me that impetus to not be afraid to get to know my neighbors, which, I mean, I think is something that people tend to shy away from a little bit. And I mean, community is so important, and that's something we tend to forget about. Like, for you, what do you hope audiences take from this as more and more people are getting to see it?
After this film, I got a lot of good things from my protagonists. They were so brave to share with me their intimate stories. They were so open to me, and they were like, how should I put it? I was just one of them, And it's how should I put it? It was a kind of very, very strange experiment. I never talked with 2,000 people, before in my film life. And the film is very popular right now in Poland. It's in the cinemas, it's on HBO Max as well. And the people are coming under my balcony, even if my camera is not here anymore. That's crazy. And this is a kind of city game that people are trying to find the place where the film was shot, in the corner of Walecznych and Katowicka Street. There's one take showing the names of the street. So they keep coming there saying, "Hello, Mr. Paweł, can you show up?" And because we want to speak with you. It's kind of crazy, And they're making a selfie with the balcony. It's a completely normal balcony. But I think that film became very popular because we need to speak with each other, In our digital rush, we don't have time to do it. And I propose them, let's say, kind of normal human analog encounters. Yes, that's it. I was for them for 2.5 years. So I think that's why they really like the film. And I think that each spectator can find for himself or for herself 1 or 2 or 3 maybe protagonists that she can feel, or just to have a look like in a mirror in their stories. And the film is about, it's about how lonely we are, how sad some we are grieving. Well, all grieving. Well, all human beings. We all have difficulties and problems. Sometimes we are in love, of course. Sometimes we are giving a birth to a baby, or sometimes we have a new dog, or But life is a very tough thing to live. So, but still, this is a film about how beautiful life could be.
Agreed.
Yes. And I can tell you, I met such interesting and fantastic characters during the shooting that I never believed that people could be like this, especially Polish people. They could sometimes be not very nice and very polite, but nothing like this happened before. No aggression, no rude words, nothing. So once again, if you are nice to the people, if you are smiling, if you are a director smiling to the people, they will give you in revenge the the same. So that was my experience from the filmmaking.
And, you know, I think that was my experience from the watching, because, I mean, it served as such a reminder that, you know, just sort of the highs and lows and the beauty of life that's out there. If we just, you know, sort of talk to people and remember sort of the beauty of those, like you said, those analog interactions, as it were,
Yes.
with human beings. I mean, I think you've done a fantastic piece of work, and just, you know, thank you so much for the time today. And again, congrats on the film.
Thank you very much, David.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD, Blu-ray rental, or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu-ray needs.